Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel, Simply Michelle, with none other than yours truly, Michelle. Mm, Yes, hopefully everyone had a good day today. If you are here for the first time, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that you will decide to become a part of the tribe and subscribe. And if you are returning, thank you so much for the love and support. It is greatly appreciated. Make sure if you are returning that you just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Just go ahead and do it. It just makes more sense to do it. All right, y'all, let's hop into it. So, normally on each of my videos, I ask the question, what is the lesson here? What can we learn from this? This particular situation that I'm getting ready to talk about, it should be pretty obvious, but with the mentality um, that is going around this day and age, like the mindset and it's just the thought process, you know, that's going on these days. I'm not exactly sure, everybody will know what, the lesson is behind this, but that's the whole purpose of, these particular videos on my channel that I do when we talk about these situations. We want to talk about the lesson in this. What is the lesson behind this so that, we can make sure we aren't out here, you know, getting caught up in this mess and doing some of the same things. And, if we are or if we have been, forgive yourself, give yourself grace. Wisdom is making sure that you learn the lesson and not repeating um, what it is that you had to learn. All right, y'all. But enough of me blabbing on. Let's get right
Everybody
into
heard the
this.
voice now.
So, we are
Now you
talking
still
about
calling me right
Summer
now, so
Walker
what you
today.
saying?
Summer Walker. This situation with
Yes, that's your name.
what's
Thank
his
you.
name?
I'm in India,
Rich
by
the
the way.
Kid, Tory
India.
Bricks, which
Talking about she could have had
is
me, but she was
Rich the
begging. That's
Kid's
all. Begging. Everybody heard the
baby
voice
mama,
now.
and
Now you still
also
calling me right now, so
girlfriend,
what you
and
saying?
Summer Walker, who is just
Yes,
beside
that's
me.
your name. Thank you. I'm
This
in
is one
India,
of
by
those
the way.
situations that's just really
India.
like
Talking
I
about she
have
could have had me, but she
secondhand
was begging. That's all.
embarrassment for Summer Walker. And I'm actually hoping that this was just a publicity stunt for her new album that she recently dropped not too long ago. Even if it was a publicity stunt, yeah, I don't know. But that's what some celebrities are doing these days, publicity stunts to help with album sales and things like that. But let's go ahead and hop into the story. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the first video from Rich the Kid. Okay, let's take a look.
Everybody heard the voice now. Now you still calling me right now, so what you saying? Yes, that's your name. Thank you. I'm in India, by the way. India. Talking about she could have had me, but she was begging. That's all. Begging. Everybody heard the voice now. Now you still calling me right now, so what you saying? Yes, that's your name. Thank you. I'm in India, by the way. India. Talking about she could have had me, but she was begging. That's all.
So, um, basically, Rich the Kid um went on Instagram and says that Summer Walker was, still calling him, and she was begging in his voice notes. I had to really wait until like more information unfolded to actually get a better understanding of what was happening here. And once Summer Walker opened her mouth, it really made a lot of sense. Um so basically, it seems like this is a third party situation, or this is a situation where According to Summer Walker, Rich the Kid, he's for the streets, he sleeps with everybody. But apparently, his baby mama, who is Tori Bricks, she decided to single Summer Walker out. And Summer Walker is saying that she singled her out for clout, because, she could have called out, so many women that her child's father deals with, but instead she chose to call her out for messing around with her kid's father. Mm-mm-mm. The mess. This is a messy situation, but this is also, it's still a good lesson. It is still a very good lesson of knowing your worth, self respect, having some dignity and some integrity for yourself, not settling for less than you deserve. um there's a whole lot of lessons that can go into this situation. um all right, so let's look at the comments. um when it comes to this, it says, someone says, rule number one, never make a ninja feel bigger than the program. Rule number two, never leave a voicemail. I agree 100%. I almost thought about titling this video, Never Make a Man Feel Bigger Than the Program. um, Someone else says, the only voice note I'm leaving on a ninja's phone is me cussing him out like Tia Kemp. And then someone else says, can someone find Summer Walker and tell her she's Summer Walker? And then someone else says, that was very feminine of him to do. So it doesn't stop right there. It gets messier. Um, so let's see just how messier um that it gets.
I've been him for years. He for everybody. So what's the problem? Like what? Like you're never gonna leave. You're never gonna leave. It comes to a point where it has to be like a certain level of disrespect that you have got to come to. That be like, all right, this is it. It can do anything to you. So if you're not gonna leave and he's gonna keep cracking that wallet wide open, then what? Can't we all just get along? Everybody been him for years. He for everybody. So what's the problem?
So in this particular video right here, Summer Walker is so let me just read the caption, because I got this from the Shade Room. It says, "Oop, Summer Walker hops on live and seemingly addresses Tory Bricks after the released audio message she sent to Rich the Kid goes viral. On the live, Summer tells Tory that Rich doesn't like her, and if he did, they would be married. She also suggests that Rich won't stop cheating and they should all just get along." This and here's the thing that instantly I was like, "Oh no. Oh no." And we do have some women that have this mindset that Summer Walker has. Like, "Oh, well, I know he's taken. I know he's your man. Well, he's the one messing with me, so why do I have to leave him alone?" They could care less about they could care less about, the principle of the situation. They could care less about, having respect for someone else's, relationship. Granted, you know, he does have a reputation for, being for the streets or whatever, but you are out here on social media and you are speaking to his girlfriend, the mother of his child, and you're telling her like, "Oh, you're never gonna leave," and like this is crazy. Summer Walker, she doesn't realize how it makes her look. And it's so funny because it's like she's talking to the girlfriend, and it's like she's trying to make the girlfriend look crazy, but meanwhile she's making herself look crazier. Not only are you making yourself look crazier, you're really coming off as um like you just don't know your self-worth. It's really delusional. I don't know. It's almost kind of like there's some type of self-entitlement there because she's Summer Walker. So and there are women out there that do this. I'm telling you. There are women out there that think because their man, not their man, but somebody else's man is dealing with them or talking to them. I don't know. They feel like it makes them special, or they feel like they have something over the other woman, or and it's like an ego thing, and it's really delusional because it's like, honey, if he's doing it to you, if he's doing it behind her back with you, what makes you think he's not going to do it to you behind your back? And it's so sad because what I'm realizing is that in today's society, a lot of women, they just don't know their worth. They settle for less than they deserve out of desperation, for fear that they're going to be alone and not have anybody. They allow themselves to be placed into, these situations where they are the ones who end up heartbroken, short end of the stick. Meanwhile, the man just moves on. They just moves on to the next person who doesn't know their worth. And the cycle, like everything just, continues to repeat. Like nothing ever gets resolved here. But let me go to the comments right quick. Someone says, "This is mean girl behavior," talking about Summer Walker. Someone else says, "There's single men out here. Why?" Someone else says, "Mind you, it's been done to you and you cry about it, and you cry on every song about it." Someone says, "Summer is trash." And that's the thing. It's like, you know how it feels to be in that position. You know how it feels to be betrayed, but yet you are just you were just being a willing participant, knowing that, you know, this is someone else's relationship, and like not even caring. And it's like you're trying to talk sense to her, and trying to make her seem like she's the crazy one, when it's really, it's like the delusion of her. So Summer Walker makes another video about this situation. Like, it gets worse. The secondhand embarrassment is just like, oh my goodness. At this point, stop making videos, stop talking about it, leave it alone, stop going back and forth, because yeah. So the Shade Room says, Summer Walker says she ain't mean no harm. She just wants to be the side. This is crazy, but all right.
Want to be the side. That's what I was saying. Like, I just want to be the side, and I just want you to chill. I don't like him enough to lay up next to him every day. I don't even know how you do it. I'm not going to start talking about him. I'm not going to start talking about him, but you know the things about him. Girl, I don't know how you do it. I was just trying to play my little position. He clearly won't stop, and he's obsessive. You can say that you're going to leave him alone, and he will just call you back to back to back. Get to call your friends, get to call your manager, get to call your assistant, get to sending stuff. Da, 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 da. It's like free money. So why would you just, every now and then you just give in? You be like, let that take me somewhere. And I'm actually really glad you did this. Because I was this close. I said, damn, I really want a Porsche, and I really want a condo in Miami. But I really kept thinking about it. I was like, I don't know, because you act nuts. And this is what I needed to see. I was never going to get peace in my condo. You were going to tear. I just want to be the side.
What in the world? Okay. I'm just wondering if she's on something. Seriously. And what really shocked me about seeing this was the fact that while she was promoting her album Finally Over It, she had a cute little promo going on where she rented a garbage truck, and she was going around to different college campuses and stuff and just allowing the ladies to like toss their ex-boyfriends like clothes, like if they had any like hoodies, clothes, shoes, anything that they still kept from their relationship, from their ex, so they could release that, and so they could, heal and move forward. And here you are doing this. And see, that goes back to my video that I made about a month ago or so, when I said healing is trending, because so many people talk about healing, and everybody, people would get on a podcast real quick and talk about healing, but people are not actually doing the healing work for real. It's trending. It is one of those buzzwords, and it is a trending topic, but no one is really I'm not going to say no one, because there are people actually out there who are doing the healing work. I am one of those people who has done the healing work, and there are people out there who actually do take the time to heal and whatnot. And then there are those who just talk about it because, it makes them look, a certain way. Like I said, it's a buzzword. So when I saw these videos, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, because originally I wasn't going to post it. I mean, I wasn't going to talk about the Summer Walker situation originally, but something said, nah, we need to go ahead and address this and discuss this, because this is something that has got to stop. There are so many women out there. There's a lot of women that's not doing this, but there are so many women out there that think this type of behavior is okay. They are diminishing their self-worth, their integrity, their dignity. It's like they're just throwing it out the window. They're adopting this side chick culture, and they're adopting this, mindset of, oh, he's taken, I don't care, I'm gonna get what I want from him. If he take me out to eat, if he take me shopping, where we just gonna be sharing the same man. Like, this is so sad. It is some serious, serious healing work that needs to be done. Some serious healing work that needs to be done. Some serious self reflection and self examination that needs to be done. Because here's the thing about it: when it comes to healing, healing is ugly. Healing is ugly, and healing is not easy, because if it is, everybody would be doing it. That's why you got so many people that talk about it instead of actually doing it, because healing causes you to have to come face to face with your mess. A lot of people is not ready to come face to face with their mess. For real. A lot of people don't want to come face to face with a mess. But that's a part of the healing process. And in order for you to make it to the other side, in order for you to get to the other side and actually, become healed, and whole, you have to, address those ugly parts. And the ugly parts are, those are the hard parts that no one, really wants to visit. But it's something that when you actually do the work, it is so worth it. In the end, it's so worth it. But yeah, let's jump into these comments real quick. So someone says, so Sierra gave you her prayer for nothing, because she did have Sierra on her podcast. Somebody says, so Sierra gave you her prayer for nothing. And then someone else says, this why God won't bless her love life. And then someone else says, love yourself, baby, because being a bird ain't it. And then someone else says, embarrassing. I totally agree. 100%. 100%. All right. And so let's see here. So Then Tori Bricks, who is Rich the Kid's, baby mama and girlfriend. And I don't want to keep saying baby mama. I really don't care to use the term baby mama. So I'm just gonna say child's mother. Um, that's just my personal opinion. Sometimes baby mama can have like a negative connotation to it. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. Sometimes, depending on the context that you use it in, sometimes people can say it in a way that's degrading. So that's just my personal opinion on that. You don't have to agree. But um it says, once again, I'm reading this from the shade room, y'all. Once again, it says, so Tori Bricks breaks her silence amid the drama with Summer Walker and Rich the Kid. She claims the singer has been harassing her for 2 years and tried to say she was around her son she shares with Rich. Um, and then someone says, Meech can't help with the groceries, but you Pizza Hut. The Pizza Hut issue is also really stupid. So I did not bother to put the Pizza Hut the posts about Pizza Hut and stuff. I didn't bother to include that in this video, but basically the Pizza Hut issue was that Summer Walker was saying that Tory Bricks was being petty and sent a bunch of orders of Pizza Hut boxes to her home. So basically, like a prank, like somebody called Pizza Hut and made a bunch of orders, and they were delivered to Summer Walker's home or whatever, like that. And Toy Bricks denies it. Like this stuff, this is so silly, and it is so immature, and it is so stupid. And you are boosting this man's ego. You you are giving this man like more, just like the first comment that I read on underneath the first video when someone said never make a man feel like he's bigger than a program, because this is just crazy. This is crazy. um but the receipts that was provided by Tory Bricks, um in regards to the let me see, in regards to the harassment that she claims that Summer Walker has been like harassing her for 2 years. Let me see. Okay. So, there's text messages. It says, this woman has literally been harassing me for like 2 years, asking to hang and link up, etc. She even went as far as trying to insinuate that she was around my child when she wasn't. Summer was around Rich one day and he accidentally left my son's backpack. As a mother who don't post the face of her children and get upset at your baby daddy for posting them to protect them, why would you play with mine? And so basically, there is a picture. This picture is of Summer Walker. She was, I guess, touching her son's book bag, or she had her son's book bag, and she sent the text that says "Laugh out loud, baby D bag," and then someone else says, "I'm finna send it to Tori." I don't know who is saying what, but the comments says, this is 2 years of harassment. I need better receipts than this. This is given. I'ma tell if you don't get what I want. If he left the kid's bag, wouldn't that mean the kid would be near? Someone says Summer is Selena. Selena is Summer. Yikes. I'm not exactly sure what that reference is to, but if anyone knows what that reference could possibly be to, um, you know, you can drop down in the comments and, say it, put it in the comments. The Shade Room says Tori Bricks calls out Summer Walker and makes it clear that her relationship has had its ups and downs. She also says she is not in a rush to get married, then divorce to Rich the Kid. So Tori Bricks wrote a message and says, "Why is she coming at me though? LMAO. Now, when I dig in, yo, SHIT, don't play victim. We are engaged, and you know that. It was my choice to not get married because Rich and I had a few hiccups, and I knew we had a few things we needed to work on as a family. I'm not in a rush to get married and then have to get a divorce, but what I do with my man in my household is none of your business." And then she put the Pizza Hut restaurant's logo at the bottom of the message. So the comments say, engaged, but the man is sleeping with another woman. Everybody here needs to wrap this up. There's no winning. It really isn't. I really honestly feel like everybody needs to just, um, go their separate ways in this situation. It is a mess. And the only people who are embarrassing themselves are the women. And it's like this every single time. Every single time there is a situation like this, it's only the women who get embarrassed. It's so stupid. Rarely is the man held accountable for going behind a woman's back and sleeping with another woman and messing with another woman. And then you have the other woman who is so willing to just be like a willing participant in the situation, which doesn't make it any better. And I mean, it's a mess. It is absolutely a mess. And then the women get the bad rap. They get the bad name for it. You know, they get called all kinds of names for it. It's, the whole situation is just it's really sad. Um, so someone else says, ain't no way they fighting over Rich the Kid. Look, let me tell y'all something. I don't even know who Rich the Kid is. Okay. This is my first time even hearing about Rich the Kid in regards to this situation. So okay. So someone else says Summer is wrong. End of story. And then someone else says somewhere Pizza Hut is trying to figure out how they got hit with a stray. That is possibly true. I honestly I would not be surprised, but Pizza Hut is probably enjoying the free publicity as well. So that's free publicity for Pizza Hut. So all right, let's see here. All right. So um Summer Walker and Tory Brooks continue to exchange words. So Tori shares an alleged DM from Summer saying, "If I knew he had a fiance, I would have never been intimate with him." Um, so Tori Bricks wrote a message saying, "You was blowing me up to link me, and whole time knew what you was doing." So basically, Tory Bricks is saying that Summer Walker hit her up to like befriend her, hang out with her, but basically she was using her to get to Rich the Kid. All right. So, the comments. I understand why women don't be having any friends. It's safer that way. Mm, 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 mm. Look, let me tell you something. It is so good to have friends, but they need to be healthy friendships. Like I mentioned in a previous video that I did previously when I was speaking about Sierra and Russell and their relationship dynamic, you have to use wisdom and discernment with everybody. Not just people who you plan on getting into, lifelong partnerships with. You have to use wisdom and discernment with people who you consider a friend as well, or people who you meet as acquaintances, and then it turns out to, develop into, a friendship. You have to use wisdom and discernment. You can't just be letting any and everybody. I mean, you can't, and that's the truth. And that's not to like snub, anybody or look your nose down at anybody, but you really do have to use discernment. You can't just go around being, friends with any and everybody, because everybody just can't be trusted in that light. That's the truth. And, it's so sad, but there are still very much healthy friendships out there between groups of women. So, it definitely depends on the mindset of, it's like who you hang around. you know Bad association spoils useful habits. So depending on who you are allowing yourself to hang around and be around, you have to take all of that into consideration. Someone says girls like summer scare me. That's actually really terrifying. Yeah, most definitely. To know that you can, be friends with somebody or think you have someone as a so-called friend, and then they take and do something like really hurtful and stab you in the back like that. Yeah, that is. Someone else says, Summer, you're weird. Someone else says, Summer wrong and Tori gonna stay. Next topic. I'm not gonna lie. As I was, getting the stories and the posts and the video clips, this actually was exhausting. I'm not gonna lie. This was exhausting. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is really sad. A really sad situation. So Summer Walker posted something on her stories. And then she says, I guess we just gonna leave that part out. I knew I should have been got a restraining order on your ASS a long time ago. You literally called the flower shop that day, harassing them, trying to get my address. That's why I made a joke to him about your son's book bag. You've been obsessed with me for years. Wrap that victim S up, Miss Girl. Um, and I think this is just a random comment underneath Summer's uh, you know, comment or response or whatever. Um, but someone says if you're gonna be the side, play that role. What you keep bringing up the main for? Enjoy your time and stop bringing her up. It's weird. This is so stupid. Oh my gosh. The whole thing is so stupid. It screams stupidity. It screams ignorance. It screams, I don't know my worth. It screams, I have low self esteem. It screams, I am willing to settle for somebody else's man just to feel like I have somebody, or just to fill a void, a space that needs to be healed, whether it's like an abandonment wound or something that needs to be healed. This is so pathetic. And like I said, we are in a generation now where that mindset is looked at as okay. Like people are really walking around with the mindset like, oh, it's okay to be a side check. Oh, yeah, because there's supposed benefits to being a side chick. This mess is so stupid. This is the world that we live in. People are lost. People are lost. They don't have a clue how lost they are. It's so funny because a lot of them are walking around thinking they're quote unquote woke. They think they're woke. They think they're aware. It's like, and they're not. And they're not. They're being deceived. They're being deceived, and it's really sad. Really a sad situation. I wish so many ladies out there knew their worth. And let me tell you something. I did not know mine. I didn't. But once I sat down and I did the healing work and I allowed myself to heal And, I went through the changes that I needed to go through. I went through a transformation. I went through a rebirth. Like I said, in some of my earlier videos, I invited God into my life. I made the necessary changes. Let me tell you something. I was broken too. I was that girl, broken, didn't know my worth, willing to settle, mindset all twisted, jacked up, thinking certain things was okay. Like, and you think that make you look cool. You think that make you look cool. You think that make you look like you, I don't know. But it's a hot mess. It is a hot mess. Um, and you're sleepwalking. All right. And let me play this last video from Summer Walker. And we are going to wrap this one up, honey, because this one right here is exhausting. Okay. The low vibrational energy that's permeating from the posts and the videos is like shrinking my brain cells. It's making me want to crawl into a bubble. All right.
Everybody can call me a bird. Everybody can call me Miss Pizza Hut. That's perfectly fine. I actually put my name as Miss Pizza Hut in the bio. It doesn't bother me. I don't care about that. You do. So now that you've done it, I want you to go through his phone and post the rest of the, because everybody about to sit here and act like it's just me and oh, she was, post the rest of the 25 he was with, and I want you to do it how the Shade Room do it when Nick Cannon be up there with his baby mamas. I want you to draw the lines and the time, the frame time frames and all that. Make a PowerPoint and put all the up on the internet that he's, because if not, you're just singling me out for clout, and that's weird. That's weird. Because all that, oh, I ain't even, man, it's so long. Even when he be trying to, I don't like him. All of this is happening over somebody that I don't even like. I don't even like to you. You probably me twice a year, 3 times a year, and still be doing all that. You gotta like, both y'all need to figure out when somebody don't like you. I'm just flabbergasted. For me to not even like somebody, and it's like, you would think we is just all in a big love triangle, like we just all in love. Like, for this to be on the internet like this is just absolutely insane. You don't have to worry about me with neither one of y'all no more. I am tired. Like, if you not just gonna shut up and let him do what he gonna do, and if he not gonna stop amping you up to do the you do, and we all just get along and let that man spend in peace, I'm cool. I'm sorry. I do not. It's not, the ain't worth it. Nothing is worth it. He's not even fine. Like, let's be real.
All right. So you went from arguing and going back and forth about this man. You went from going back and forth with this man's child's mother um to now saying that you don't like him, you never liked him, and just basically trying to make it look like her and the guy, Rich the Kid, are the problem and not her. All three of y'all are the problem. All three of y'all are the issue. But it's the fact that, she's like, I don't even like him. I don't, we just had sex 2 or 3 times out of the year. What? 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 What is this? What is this foolishness? Um, I felt like this was a very, very messy situation. It's very low vibrational, but at the same time, I felt like it needed to be posted because it's like the lesson, the lesson, the whole purpose of this is to, find the lesson in this mess. Okay. Um, It's so many. It's like it's so many flags that can be pointed out. And I definitely want y'all to drop down in the comments and share y'all thoughts and opinions on this. Y'all tell me what y'all think. What is the lesson? What is the lesson? From y'all perspective, what y'all think the lesson is. But comments. Um, Someone says, I like Summer Walker more when she had social anxiety and barely talked. And then someone else says, why you letting him have his way 2, 3 times a year with you when he has a girlfriend and you don't like him though? Exactly. It's just crazy. Basically, what it is now, I think when she made this particular video right here, I feel like she was trying to save face. I don't know if somebody spoke to her and said, girl, you looking real stupid out here in these social media streets. Or I don't know, maybe she had a come to Jesus moment and was like, and I feel like this particular video right here is her just trying to clean it up and kind of trying to see how she can remove herself from the situation by pinning it on Tory Bricks and Rich the Kid. But she's, a part of the mess. So she can't exclude herself out of it, no matter how hard she tries. And yeah, he did, maybe, he did sleep around with a bunch of other women. I'm sure he probably did, not to put all, artists and rappers in that stereotype, but a lot of the times when it comes to the men, they do. They have like groupies and they do a lot of cheating and stuff like that. That lifestyle. And that's not everybody, I'm just saying some of them do. I'm not lumping everybody in that category. But yeah, so her whole thing was, why are you coming for me? Why don't you call out, the other women? Which to a degree, I'm just gonna put myself in her shoes for a second. I do understand where she's coming from as far is that as that is concerned. She shouldn't be dealing with him anyway. But if he's messing around with other women, why are you just calling me out? And first of all, here's another thing. If he's messing with other women and he's already in a relationship, oh my gosh, STDs, hello. I mean, pregnancies. I mean, but what's worse, STDs, like you still, it's like still settling. It's like you don't even care. It's my goodness. All right. So someone else says she should stop talking now. And then someone else says, but wait, why are we sleeping with men we don't like, let alone 3 times a year? Why? Oh my. Oh my goodness. So to be honest with y'all, there was like more posts that continued to like go on and but I did not have the energy to go through all of that. I just didn't want to. I did not want to. I'm like, this is exhausting. This is a mess. Um, the last post though that I want to share though, so the Shade Room posted that Summer Walker dominates billboards with Finally Over It, extends records for most entries by a female artist on the Hot R&B Songs chart. It says, "You go, girl." Summer Walker is officially #1 on Billboard's top R&B hip hop albums chart with her third studio album, Finally Over It. The album debuted with 77,000 equivalent album units in the US for the week of November 14th through the 20th, making it the highest first week total for any R&B album by a woman in 2025, according to Luminate. And see, here's the thing. This is what made me like in the beginning question, okay, was this just for promo for the album or is this something that actually took place? But either way, whether it was done purposely or whether it was not done purposely is still an embarrassing situation. And if I was going to go that far as to create drama to help boost album sales, it wouldn't be something as messy as that because it has you looking some type of way. But honestly, I don't feel like this is a publicity stunt. I feel like she was really in that situation for real. But, it just happened to be around the time that she dropped her album. And yeah. And it's, you know, someone said she did all of that promo and clout. Oh, she did all that for promo and clout, good marketing. Um, I don't know. It's just so crazy. And it's like you got wins, you're making moves in your life. You got wins that you can celebrate, but yet, you're still bringing yourself down to nothing. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Oh my goodness. All right, y'all. Drop down in the comments for me and tell me what y'all think about this situation. What was your takeaway from this? From your perspective on the situation, what would you say the lesson is in regards to this? What can we take away from this so we can make sure not to be a part of this foolishness? And if you were someone that was a part of some foolishness like this, um, forgive yourself, get out of that situation, give yourself grace, remove yourself and work on your healing, do the necessary healing that you need to do so that you can elevate. Yeah, because you don't want that. Situations like this, creates all types of soul ties and connections to different people, and it can be a mess. you know but all right, y'all, please make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Thank you so much, y'all, for sticking it out with me. I thoroughly enjoy doing this. It's something that I really enjoy doing this. And so y'all stay tuned. Make sure you stay locked in through subscribing and that notification bell. Make sure you also hit that like button so these videos can reach more people. All right. But until next time, everybody, take care, stay safe, be blessed. Bye bye.